If you're new here, my name is Emma, and this year I'm visiting every state park in Texas. All 88 or 90, however many there are now, they keep changing it. And my goal with this series is to experience every park, not just pass through them. So if a park is known for camping, we camp. If it's known for certain activities, we do them. And if the park has a body of water we're allowed to swim in, we're swimming in it. Thank God we're not allowed to swim in this. And while this is stop number 2, this weekend we actually get a 2-for-1 deal. We're camping here in Bastrop State Park, and Bastrop is connected to Buescher State Park by a 12-mile road. So we get to set up here in Bastrop while exploring Buescher tomorrow. Honestly, it kind of feels like cheating, but in the best possible way because I'm already feeling very overwhelmed by this challenge and it's not even the end of January yet. So welcome to the Lost Pines. So outside of the park is, of course, Bastrop itself. There's definitely a large town around it. It's got some suburban neighborhoods within it, but it's also got this really cute town square. So I don't think we can skip it. We're right here. Bastrop still looks like that small town that we all know. It's got small cafes and local shopping, and a main square still filled with beautiful old style buildings. But this version of Bastrop will not be around much longer.
Wait.
Bastrop County is home to about 100,000 people, but it's projected that the population will double in just a few decades. And this expansion is due to a few things. One, the growth of other cities in Central Texas like Austin expanding here to Bastrop. The expected over $1 billion worth of data centers being added in the area. And of course, investments being made by Elon Musk. In a place like this, with a fragile ecosystem constantly recovering from wildfires, plus being a state like Texas that already has worries about water and power shortages, growth and construction like this should be very concerning. Data centers don't just eat up acres of land, they also require a very high amount of water. And I feel like there's a lot of irony in the fact that there's a Cybertruck driving past me right now. I don't know if you can see it. But as I was saying, data centers not only take up acres of land, but they also require a lot of water and energy to function. And again, our power grid and aquifers are already dealing with a lot of stress and strain. We are barely meeting the demands as is, especially in the droughts that we continue to see. And so with all of those factors, the anticipated growth and construction and development of this type of area, the type of people that those types of developments bring, and the continued utilization of a lot of our natural resources, it again brings me back to the point that a town like this, anticipating what it is expected to see, will not look like this for much longer. We're at a little lunch at Neighbor's Kitchen and Yard. I've been sick again, so I got this little baby beer. It's the Misty Narwhal. It's a hazy IPA, and they brew it right next door to here. If you can hear the noise, they are doing restoration on the old bridge right here. Otherwise, beautiful patio. We're right on the Colorado River, but it is loud. Of course, though, we have our indie dog here, so we can't sit inside, but I wanted to be able to see the river anyway. And otherwise, we're going to enjoy a little lunch before we head to camp. We're here. And we have daylight. We get to set up our camp with daylight. There's a bird. Come here. I forgot a pillow. Again. No. What a rip. Very sandy. Go in this way. Use this way. No, that's not good. I feel like I need to start timing how long it takes me to set my tent up. It's a really beautiful campsite. It's winter, but we still have green trees because of all the pine trees. The campsite we're in still has quite tall, even though they're like more teenager-y trees. Although we definitely are closer to a lot more people in comparison to McKinney Falls. Now, I'm not gonna keep playing the comparison game with every state park that we go to, but we definitely have neighbors like blasting music, which isn't always bad depending on what kind of music it is. So we'll find out whether or not they have taste. Tonight, it's supposed to be as low as like 24 degrees potentially. I don't think I'm ready for that level of cold. Right now, it's like 47. I'm feeling warm, I'm moving around, and then the temperatures are just gonna plummet tonight while we're asleep. Decided we should go for a little walk before we have to make dinner. Go ahead. Slowly. Wow. You can see all these ferns. They must have probably just fried from the freeze we had last weekend. I bet in the spring and summer that this section right here is just so lush. The forest floor here is just so thick with pine needles. It definitely, seeing it, there's no wonder that one, there's a burn ban right now, and two, just how possible it would be for such an area like this to really catch on fire. I don't really know where we're going. And look who decided to show up after I got the full tent set up. Yeah, he waited till I set up the tent, the sleeping bags, the air mattress thingy, sleeping pads. Now he's rolling up. I see what he did. I know what he did. But at least I'm not alone tonight. Woo-hoo! If you haven't seen my last video, I was very afraid the whole time while I was by myself. Your condo awaits.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it looks pretty. It matches with this color scheme over here. Hello. Hi. My name is Ari, and I met this beautiful girl here today in Bastrop.
No, shush.
State. It's like a blink of an eye. I don't remember.
Don't listen to him. The moon's out. Ooh, do you see it? So cute. The temperature just dropped so much. I had to put on my full head coverage and my little gloves because it's getting a lot chillier now. And for dinner, we're trying a little culinary experiment. We're going to try to make stovetop pizza in the dark. Camping is just cooking in different places, but harder.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Setting the mood. Setting the ambiance.
But at least it's not raining though, so that's good. It's not like wet.
Oop, the gloves are coming off. It's gonna be more pizza dough than we need though. No. It said put it in there for like 5-ish minutes, then maybe look at it, then 10 minutes, then flip it.
No, flip it.
So really the bottom's the top. And then another 5-ish minutes and then add all your toppings. But don't use these instructions unless you make it to the next part and it looks good. If it doesn't, then ignore everything I just said. I mean, it's still wet. I think you gotta let it. I mean, I don't know. Do you have a spatula? We're burning our pizza. Or actually it's just cold out. Or maybe it is. Oh.
That's fine.
How much time do we say? Less time.
I think it should be good. Don't cover it up.
Don't cover it up?
No.
I think I just gotta pull it off. I mean, it's not bad. Could be better. Oof. We have one more pizza crust, so we'll try that out. Hope for the best. Didn't bring any backup food, so
Salad.
there's a salad. Good on the inside?
It's like a biscuit.
Okay, Audie think he got the technique down. Wow, look at that.
I wonder if you'd have listened to me
Oh,
on the first
no,
one.
it's still a little...
It is.
It looks much better.
It's soft?
Just a
That's
little...
it.
A little softer than soft. We're learning. Scrambled pizza. Show me your...
Can I do rings?
I had to level up my beanie game. It's getting quite cold. This is another very loud park. I thought McKinney Falls was loud, and this one has definitely been highway noise the whole time. If anyone was wondering the answer to the question that I asked earlier, will these neighbors have good taste in music? The answer was no. But overall in the tent, it's not too cold. We're doing the ye old Nalgene trick where you fill it up with boiling water or hot water and then put it into your sleeping bag so it warms it up. It's about that time. I'm gonna read a little bit more and then I'm gonna go to bed. It's supposed to be the coldest when we wake up in the morning. It's supposed to be like 28, 29. Classic. We'll hope for the best. And I will see y'all tomorrow. It is very cold this morning. Could I have done this in the bathroom that has heat? Yes. Did I forget? Yeah. Well, I say the bathrooms here are really nice too. Heat in the winter, AC in the summer. They all had lots of toilet paper.
How close do you need? Like, French press.
French press course. This morning we're drinking Barrett's from Austin. This is an El Salvador Natural Santa Isabel. Rich chocolate and strawberry jam. Listen, I'm all for coffee notes. Do you think this really tastes like strawberry jam? We'll find out. We'll see if the ratios, there's any ratio. Coffee. It's cold. Some hot chocolate remnants. It's a very yellow coffee. Strange man from the woods. Audie made us just wing it and it is not strong enough. Can that be remedied if I just let it steep a little longer? This might not sound exciting, but one of the main activities today is actually a drive. Bastrop and Buescher State Parks are the only two state parks in Texas that are connected like this by an actual in-park road. So we're gonna take Park Road 1C, which is about 12 miles through the Lost Pines. It's supposed to be really, really beautiful. And then it'll also give us an opportunity to visit and explore Buescher State Park. Okay, I know I was maybe talking some about the strawberry jam flavor. It does actually taste like strawberry jam, or very strawberry berry-esque. I'm not an expert coffee taster. I'd love to take more classes to be able to get better at tasting. But I do feel like sometimes when coffee roasters put on like blueberry streusel pie, peanut butter pretzel covered in chocolate. Does it really taste like peanut butter pretzel covered in chocolate? Half of that's marketing, half of it is a base level flavor that is definitely detectable. So yes, it does taste like berries, probably a little like strawberry. I guess you could say strawberry jam. Bastrop State Park is in the heart of the Lost Pines, which is one of the most unique ecosystems in Texas because this is the westernmost stand of loblolly pines in the United States. It's its own isolated forest hundreds of miles from the loblolly pines of East Texas. But it's impossible to talk about Bastrop State Park without talking about the fires.
Hundreds of homes have been destroyed in one of the worst wildfire outbreaks in memory.
It is a sad sight with all the fires burning in Texas right now.
The biggest by far is in Bastrop County, where now 25,000 acres have burned.
It is burning on the state park. It's consumed most of our primitive area.
In 2011, the Bastrop County fires burned through 30,000 acres and nearly wiped out this entire park. And while I don't remember what this park looked like before the fires, I vividly remember when the fires happened. I grew up in Houston. We were actually in this area for a soccer tournament the same weekend that the fires were happening. We literally played our final game with plumes of smoke overhead while our parents were on the sidelines wondering A, if we were going to be able to get home, and B, they were waiting to hear what homes and other things were going to be lost in this devastating wildfire. So while a lot of the trees that burned down in the 2011 fires have grown back very maturely, they're upwards of 15, 20, and maybe even taller, we still see a lot of new pines growing. As you can see, this loblolly pine here is only just a little bit taller than me, versus one day it could be as tall as 60 feet. Smells delicious. A little prickly. But just really cool to see how this forest has grown and changed. And I mean, if you look right here, obviously we have a much more mature one getting much, much taller. It has some pine cones, very cute. And so it's just really amazing to see the ecosystem come back after such a devastating loss.
You see this amber over here? That's nature's fossilization mechanism. So probably some insect is stuck over here. If you come back millions of years later, you will find out Emma and Adi were here too. Because I'm talking to it and my air is stuck to the amber.
I guess somebody watched Jurassic Park recently. Ooh, yeah. That's a power pine saw, baby.
This one?
Yeah.
That's the Texas toad.
Houston toad.
Houston toad. Beautiful arch.
Now we're in Buescher State Park. Good morning. We just drove over from Bastrop.
Yeah. Number one, do you have park pass with us? Oh, there you go. I need you to sign. You got it?
Thank you. Can we also get 2 of the park passports?
Oh, yeah.
So is 87 the official number right
At
now?
the moment, yeah. There's
Okay.
2 more coming on. Palo Pinto will be on. Yeah, we get the bike one because we have trails that are bikeable.
Although Buescher State Park is part of the same ecosystem as Bastrop, it already looks very different. It has these beautiful cedar elms that are covered in Spanish moss. It definitely feels like a much quieter and a little less built out of a park, much smaller, but it has a lot of cool CCC buildings. And before becoming a park, it actually was primarily used for agriculture, which is why a lot of the areas feel a little bit more like a meadow than a forest. There's still a lot of really great grassy areas. These are Turk's caps. Normally they have these really cute little red flower. Unfortunately, we're here right after our big winter freeze, so a lot of stuff's a little frosty. Look at the little bird. Do you see it? Is that a warbler?
Found some juniper berries on the floor. Look, there's a lot of them. Can you see it? It's pretty cool. And then you press them, and then it smells like gin. Ball moss. Ball moss is related to pineapple. The closest relative. Imagine a moss and pineapple in the same family.
Is it 1 tree or 8 trees? Across Buescher and Bastrop, there's actually a couple different lakes. Thank God you're not allowed to swim in any of them, at least right now, because I would have done a cold plunge if I needed to do the cold plunge, but I'm really glad that I do not have to do the cold plunge. You're gonna get lice. You're gonna get lice.
Is it?
I mean, Spanish moss has lice in it sometimes.
It does?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Ranger Madeline. I've worked for Buescher and Bastrop State Park for over 7 years. So right now we're at Buescher State Park. This is part of the Lost Pines complex. So it's 2 state parks, Bastrop and Buescher, where some staff like me is shared between both parks. We're connected by Park Road 1C, which is a 12-mile road that was built in the 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps, just like these 2 parks. So Buescher and Bastrop were built by the same Conservation Corps group. The Lost Pines complex is really special and unique because of the Lost Pines. But also Buescher is a little bit more special and unique from Bastrop. So we've got more of the Lost Pines, which are loblolly pines over at Bastrop. Buescher, you're going to see a little bit less of those loblollies. You're going to see more of these beautiful oak trees. And then you also have really lovely Spanish moss that you might see behind me. Even for staff members, where I work at both parks, it almost feels like a little mini vacation when I get to come over here and jump over to Buescher and see more of the oaks and mature trees and the Spanish moss. We've also got this really beautiful, lovely lake behind us. So it's a 25-acre lake right now. It's very low. We've had the drought this year, and so it's the lowest I've seen it in over 7 years. But normally, if it's full, it's a 25-acre lake where you can do fishing and canoeing and kayaking. And we did have a trout release. Usually we have a trout release every December. So we release usually around 1,000 rainbow trout. So if you wanted to experience rainbow trout fishing and you're around the Austin area, this is a really great location for you to come to. This park wasn't affected by the 2011 fires as much as Bastrop State Park. 96% of Bastrop State Park burned. So you're going to get a really good glimpse of how a forest recovers from a really terrible wildfire, and it's really bouncing back beautifully. If you haven't visited it since before the 2011 fire, or you visited it recently after, I encourage you guys to come back. There were some trees that were planted. They planted over 2 million loblolly pine trees after the fire, and when I started, some of them were about hip or belly button height, and it's really bouncing back beautifully. If you haven't visited it since before the 2011 fire, or you visited it recently after, I encourage you guys to come back. There were some trees that were planted. They planted over 2 million loblolly pine trees after the fire. And when I started, some of them were about hip or belly button height, and now I call them teenager pine trees. They're like 20 feet high. They're growing. So you're going to get some more shaded trees, and you're going to get to see that recovery. We do prescribe fire. So some areas were burned, every like 3 or so years in some sections. You're going to see about 15 to 20 feet of space between those loblolly pine trees, and you're going to see some really beautiful grasses and forbs growing up in between. That's what we want the future the Lost Pines Forest to look like. That is our goal. That was burned about every 3 or so years with prescribed fire after the burn to keep all of these, what we call woody vegetation, so yopon holly and stuff, from overcrowding and growing back up. In our forested ecosystem, they found that there was a high frequency, high interval wildfires that occurred in our forest to keep it healthy before we came and suppressed wildfire for 100 years. And then you're also going to see some areas where we did have recent wildfires, smaller sections. And it was started on private land. So there's a lot of private housing and private land off of Park Road 1C. And it was started on private land and then expanded into the park. As this area got more and more arid, our soil and what we have, the hydrology and everything underneath, is part of what keeps these loblollies here. So we have a nice sandy clay loam soil. Then we have like a nice clay basin underneath that can hold on to moisture and water. So they've survived in this little pocket area, but our trees can withstand 30% less rainfall a year. So as this area has become more arid, they've been able to survive. Now, we've seen a lot more die off because it has gotten more and more intense summers and longer droughts. We've seen a lot more from the pine bark beetle die off this year, but this little pocket's surviving for now because of the hydrology and because that they're just a little bit different and able to withstand 30% less rainfall than our East Texas loblollies. Texas is just becoming a drier climate, and yeah, everybody's got to conserve water where they can.
And we incorporate fish ID with this by taping pictures of other fish on the bottom of these. Basically, you push it and hold the buttons down, hold it down, don't let it go, a little flick of the wrist, and the idea is to catch your fish. Get up on the back side of it.
Buescher, look at that. Yeah. It's a fish finder. I see.
I don't know if I can first time get a fish.
What is this?
I want to try that. The bluegill?
A
The
bluegill.
4-inch blue eel.
Sunfish.
Bluegill.
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 Because they have blue gills.
Ah, I see.
They're part of this. This is actually called a pumpkin seed because the plate there looks like a pumpkin seed. We have actually 60 to 80 different species of sunfish in Texas.
Who can catch a fish faster? Go.
With the hook. Oh, both of y'all! Yay! It's a channel catfish.
Channel catfish.
And it says 2 inches, so it'd be like a fingerling.
Very small, much
Yeah.
smaller than it is on the thing. Yeah, it's funny because I definitely said earlier that it's not really known for camping, but I actually think I like the campsites here better than the ones in Bastrop. They're just a little bit more private, it looks like. They have some really cute mini cabins. Oh, look, deer's in front of us. On the left. Don't hit the deer. I don't think the deer knows you have your blinker on. But no, I actually like the spacing, and each of the campsites here have a nice little tree coverage. They're just like more private, I would say. Partially because they didn't have to do a full reconstruction after the fires in 2011. So I wouldn't knock it off of your list of places to camp. Maybe the option really is stay at Buescher and then visit Bastrop. But I think Bastrop has better bathrooms.
Did you have to have...
So in Bastrop and Buescher, you'll see a lot of buildings like this one that are built out of wood and beautiful natural stones that were collected from this area itself. And these came from the CCC. And so the CCC, or the Civilian Conservation Corps, was started during the Great Depression by FDR. I love this little fireplace behind me. It's cool because you could sit in this open shade shelter, but still get some heat. The CCC was started to help create jobs for young unmarried men like 18 to 25, and they would go and work on these conservation projects around America. And in Texas specifically, there are a lot of structures still standing in a lot of state parks that were built by the CCC. And while I don't know that much about the CCC yet, maybe I'll learn some more. From my perspective of what I know so far, it seems to be like a really positive program as far as creating jobs in a time when the US was at an unemployment rate of 25%, and also being able to create these roads, buildings, structures, and really establish the beginning of a lot of our state and national parks. Of course, now a lot of the conservation for our parks comes from the individual park itself and the state government and different types of taxes. But again, I've been in a lot of places that have been very positively impacted by the CCC. Audie's gone home. It's just me now. I want to go check out at least one or two other things here in Bastrop. Okay, I can hear a woodpecker very lightly pecking. Oh, there it is. Oh, how pretty. You see it on the DJI? Where is he? Oh, right there in the middle. Oh, he left. Oh, where's he going? Okay, another one just flew like right over my head. Do your woodpecking thing. You know, he's looking for little worms and stuff, little beetles and bugs. Look, this one above the cabin is hanging up, is like almost upside down. This is why I need a zoom lens. I want to do more photography, and oh my god, I would love to capture this in a beautiful photograph. But all I have is a wide angle and a prime lens, and that is not going to capture up there. Okay, this is one of my favorite activities right here. Oh my god, there's just nothing more satisfying than stepping on a crunchy pine cone. I think a lot of that in there is actually that Yopon holly. And then of course we have our loblolly pine. And so Bastrop isn't just a story about resilience and recovery, but also the perfect example of what it takes to protect a land like this when the pressures on land, water, and wildlife continue to grow. And while each part of the park looks very different, this is what intentional land management looks like. And there's definitely a big focus on building a sustainable nude forest that will last for generations. And so this does mark the end of our time here in Bastrop and Buescher State Park. Of course, there is literally so much more within both of these parks that we didn't visit that could continue to be explored. I definitely encourage you to go take the time to explore them. And don't forget, for every subscriber that I gain through this series, I'm going to donate 1 penny to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you the next time we hit the road. Bye.
So Buescher State Park is pronounced Buescher. It looks like it's pronounced Buescher or Buescher, and we still even have the locals that pronounce it wrong. So, but it's pronounced Buescher, like Fisher with a B. So the family that donated the land, majority of the land, that's how they pronounce their name, and so that's why we call it Buescher. They pronounced it as Buescher instead of Buescher or Buescher. It was actually supposed to be originally called Smithville State Park, just like how Bastrop's called Bastrop State Park, but since they donated majority of the land, it changed to Buescher.